for the state and it's bad for those other officers, Lang, Tao, and Chung, because they're charged with the aiding and abetting the second-degree manslaughter. So even if you get down to that bottom count, that second-degree manslaughter, that's sufficient for the state to go after those officers, and believe me, they will. Now, obviously, in the unlikely event that there's a not guilty verdict, I don't believe the prosecution of those 3 other officers can continue based on that aiding and abetting alone, which is insufficient if there is a not guilty verdict in the Derek Chauvin case.
And we're seeing the seal, that courtroom, as soon as the judge goes in there, we'll go to it, and we're seeing also the view outside the courthouse as indeed the crowds are growing. Neama, let me ask you this, though. All right, so you have the other officers. Are you surprised that no deal was made with them to bring them in to discuss maybe conversations that occurred or what they were told? Or is it just that they couldn't give information, or is this too high-profile case involving that 9-minute and 29-second video that you just didn't want to offer them a deal?
No, you hit the nail on the head. There's 2 reasons why they didn't receive any type of deal. First, the evidence speaks for itself. The state and the prosecution, they had that body cam footage. They had the bystander video. They didn't need the officers to testify. They weren't going to add anything in terms of evidence. And the other, there's just way too much political pressure to cut a deal in this case. Let's not forget, Derek Chauvin was willing to plead to a manslaughter deal, and Attorney General Bill Barr rejected that deal. One of the things that folks have forgotten about and they haven't really talked about, but Chauvin was willing to take a deal and serve up to 10 years. But even the Attorney General of the United States thought that it was politically inappropriate to offer that type of deal. And the reason the Attorney General was involved, let's not forget, part of Chauvin's deal would be that he served time in federal prison and that he not be charged with federal civil rights violations. So the Attorney General had to sign off.
And so those